No summers are on their way. Katya looks like she's driving somewhere. It's finally nice here. Got rid of all that stupid rain we were having here. So, is it how hot is it down in the valley today, Allie?
Let me check. I'm not even sure.
She's like, I don't want to go outside. I don't care.
It's 72 here
Yeah,
in Sandy.
oh yeah, it's fabulous here.
It's 92 right now. High is 100 for today. I know.
Yeah, and this is why we left Phoenix.
It's like barely
Yes.
70 here, so.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Did we go to the sales training this morning?
Amazing.
Yeah.
We
All right,
did.
What did we think of it?
Once
Very
again,
cool.
amazing.
Very cool.
Listening to this call.
I would like you to use verbs and adjectives to describe it besides amazing.
A word.
How about none of the above? But I like the instant decision again, but I am disappointed that it's back to 60 instead of 65 on that anyway.
Informative, yep, for sure.
Yeah, I took tons of notes. So
Yeah.
I'm excited that it's and I like Steve, I'm disappointed because I feel like over 60, me over 60 people, there's not a lot of options.
I mean, it's really like Moo, and just keep in mind, we know the approval rates. Approval rates are in the tank right now, company wide. Like they have tightened up their risk assessment like massively. Less than 50% approval rating last month.
I just got one approved yesterday for so
yeah,
woo!
Good. Yeah, like it's dramatically down right now.
So who would you go to be for term for like between 60 and 65 or 61 and
right? Like that, unfortunately, right now, it's them, right? Like Am's pretty good about that. Moo is really who I'm going to now. Like, as much as I dislike iPipeline.
What,
yeah.
Trevor?
Summers, it was in so much. Summers called me about it. He's like, "Why are you writing?" I'm like, "Listen, it's what's helped me is Crank Wheel has been the game changer on how to do that. So if you guys haven't heard about or heard me share what Crank Wheel is, it is a browser extension that allows you to share. So really? Mel making a ruckus. So
Mel's not leaving, is she?
No, I wouldn't shock me if she did, but
I know, but she normally gives you a smooch if she's leaving, you know.
yeah, no, she's not. She's just doing stuff.
All right.
Here we go. Right. So one of the things that's helpful, right? So we'll do a little training here for some of the like newer people if they don't know, right? This is the guide father, right? This is linked on. You should have this bookmark, but this is linked, on the summer site. But one of the cool things is see these things that say moo, all this. They've taken screenshots of the application, right? So when you open those, I gotta start meeting people. Okay. So, right, it shows like what they're gonna get. So what I've started doing is who here knows what Crank Wheel is? Because I've talked about it or have used it. Do we know what Crank Wheel is? Right. So Crank Wheel is a browser extension, right? That I can then say, hey, Mr. Client, right? Like, let me show you, right? Like what that, screen looks like, right? So I can be like, hey, text, I want to share that. And you can text it right to their phone. Okay. And for example, I will pick on who do I see that I know can there's watch it on their phone. Right. So if you go, I'm gonna pick on Bender. Bender, what's your phone number?
973-945-7791.
right? So it literally is going to click them a link, right? And then on their phone, they can see it. So what I do is, right, and you'll see here, it'll start being when he opens it up, it'll say, oh, hey, here you go. Then I'll be like, hey, put this in here. You have to, now I'm like, click this blue box, then you can click the yellow one, then you don't have to do it, right? And then I go back, right? And I'll go back to them and I'll be like, okay, hey, the part 2 part, which is the more complicated part, right? I have it sharing with them and I'm like, hey, you're going to get this pop-up blocker thing. Hit no, put your social in, right? You have to review this, close it, right? Finger sign, yes, just scribble, right? Don't click decline signature. Do you know how many people I have clicked decline signature and I have to start over? This shit is so annoying. Like, don't click decline signature, right? But then they can see it, right? And then you're like, okay, right? Apply signature, right? And do it. So that's what's really helped me. But also, our approval rating, shockingly, because normally Moo is incredibly tight, was up last month. My 2 cents on the carriers of what's going on, for those that have, if you have asked me about the Marico situation and what's going on there, I don't personally like it. I'm not a fan. I don't think we should have to deal with that, but unfortunately, what's happened is so many people have done so much shady stuff, not just Symmetry, just people in general, right? Whoever they're working with, it's forced them to do that, right? They sat down as a company and said, we have to put this in place. And I don't want to be on the hook for 6 months commission, even though the client's paid. So I'm looking at other options, right, of what to do. And I can't let too much out, but oh, it's Daniel. Okay, there we go. That's who I was trying to figure out who it was. Yep. All right. So yeah, like that's what I'm, that's what I'm trying, to do there. But Moo goes up to, right? Like Moo goes up, I think Moo goes up to 75 on the IULA and 65 on the term. On the platform that they built FE, Transamerica is building a 500K instant decision IUL. And now Marcus is muted. So that's in the works. That's coming pretty quickly. So I'm excited about that because it's another, Americo just dropped their age limit on it too, right? So I'm just moving, me personally, I'm moving to Moo a little bit more. So on that, but I'm the reality is I mean, I'm giving up a little commission. I'm probably just going Transamerica first. I hate giving up the percent, but they're going to approve everybody. They don't get declined. They're kind of in the middle pricing rise, right? They're not UHL pricing, but they're not Americo, right? If they're healthy enough, I'm going to take them over there. But there's some cool stuff coming with Transamerica. I literally talked to Jeremiah this week. So on the commission stuff, I kind of, I'm not going to totally let the cat out of the bag yet, but it's going to be good for us. And there's some cool stuff coming there. I think the carriers, talking to a few, are willing to are know what Americo just did and are aggressively going to try to jump on the opportunity to gain a bunch of that business from us. So that's there. But I want to talk about this opportunity today and what you're doing, because I kind of got inspired by Christina Watts this morning and Sarah, and really got me thinking about, stuff they're talking about, they're doing. And it was our belief in us in this business, right? So if you're like, everybody that's on my team knows this, right? I give this speech and it's very simple. This is the television, and that thing on the wall is the radio. It is 2025. You are no longer allowed to say, I don't want to do social media. I don't want to be out there. Okay. Everybody is Googling you. Everyone. If we were recruiting, they are Googling Symmetry. They are looking us up. They are leveraging all that stuff. They have to know you're real. How many people here would go to a bar or restaurant that if you looked them up, they had no reviews, or it was like 1 star. How many people would go to that restaurant? Anyone? Right? Like basically nobody. And so why is this human being going to trust you to give them tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of dollars to protect their family when the worst thing that can happen happens? We pass away, right? Why should they trust you if you don't exist in today's digital age? And some of it becomes down to like belief, right? So we hear the term warm market, cold market, right? If you're not willing to share what you're doing, do you really believe in what you're doing? Right? Like ask yourself that. Like, even if you don't feel like you have the experience and you know everything yet, do you have the belief in yourself and in this place and what you're doing? Because if you're not sharing it, you don't. That's just the reality. The reality is you don't, no matter what you say or do, you just don't have that there. Now, some people have big warm markets. Some people have little warm markets, right? But if you start today, even if you haven't started yet, posting a year from now, you're going to have people paying attention and like showing what you're doing, right? Because what do we sell here, right? And I'm talking about us now, right? We know we know we're problem solvers, but what do we sell here, right? Like, what do we, for us as agents, what's the sell? Put it in chat, unmute, answer. This is participatory. This isn't Trevor talking day. What do we sell?
I say we sell uncapped potential for income with flexibility in schedule.
100%. That is well said, Marcus, right? How many here want a boss or ever want a boss again? Anyone? Anyone want to have a boss? Right? No, right? Like we could all say we're probably all here because we don't want a boss, right? And if you have one, you're trying to fire that boss, right? Like you're trying to get rid of them, you're trying to get them out there, right? Like that side of it. So where's your belief in that we can really do that if you're not willing to share? What do you think is like holding you back? Well, I've met your wife. She is your boss. So, and I'm not getting on her bad side. I don't feel like it twisted in a jujitsu pretzel. So, for those that don't know, Miller and Setha are both black belts in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So, she twists someone up there. And quickly you will see it, but I'm going to do it on this call before we're there. It's Miller's birthday Saturday, so make sure everybody gives him a hard time on Saturday and wishes him a happy birthday. Yep, today's the 22nd, it's the 24th Saturday. I got it on the calendar. So want to give that shout out. But let's go back to talk about that, right? Like what's stopping you from doing that? What's holding you back?
Time could be one.
How is time holding you back?
If according to my job, I'm working from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. sometimes.
Right.
So there's just
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I think that's an extreme case. Let me ask it this way. Do we think social media is an income producing activity?
It
Depends on
can.
how you use it. If you're doing it just to scroll, then no. If you're doing it to promote and post about what we do or the
Right.
opportunity, then yes.
Yes, correct. So it should be part of your income producing activities, not doom scrolling, right? Correct, right? We're not just doom scrolling through everything, but from a investment standpoint, it should be, right? Like look at what just being consistent and putting it in there. And here's the other thing, right? It's a way for us to turn and use ourselves to be held accountable, right? How do you be held accountable? Like, hey, this is what I'm doing, right? How many think I don't want to post like commission I made because I don't want my client to see it? How many think that? Anyone? Right? I've heard it. People say it, right? Like, I don't want to post that sale because listen, we're not a charity. We don't work for free. Like, this ain't free, right? I'm not doing this. Like, you don't go out to a bar or a restaurant and expect the server to serve you for free, right? Unless you're just a magnanimous twat and like don't tip, right? Like, those people exist, but like you don't expect that, right? Nobody on this call expects to go to a restaurant and have a server work for free, right? Do you expect a guy to come fix your roof to work for free? No. So why do we put this thing on ourselves that we don't want to share because we should be working for free? I ain't doing this for charity, right? Like, I'm not, right? Like, what we're doing is awesome because we're protecting families and we get to make a good living at it. But
And
like,
we're not
as you asked,
necessarily, we're not using our clients' names.
no, I don't
Typically,
use
we're
their
not,
names.
anyway.
No, I'm not going to put their names out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not going to drop their names on it, but I'm going to show like, hey, this is what I'm able to do, right? And then you're going to get the people like, right? And then you're going to get one bad comment, and you're going to be like, oh no, someone made a bad comment, right? Just like the person that hangs up on you because they're having a bad day, right? Or they're just mean and rude. Why are you calling me? Because I want to make sure your house doesn't go back to the bank when you die, right? Like, that's that side of it, but taking advantage of that, and in today's day and age you have to use it, and then we come up with excuses on why we don't, right? So what's the fear, right? um Yep. Okay. Right. Kind of crass. But we want to show the lifestyle, right, Marcus? Right. Like, the whole point of this is, hey, we can do this from anywhere at any time. We can do it sitting by a pool. We can do it out on Marcus's farm. I can do it in an RV, right? Like, we can do this from anywhere, right? And that's where fixing our at the airport, absolutely, right? Fixing our mindset to know that, right? It's why I love Secrets of a Millionaire Mind book so much, right? Because one of the things uh they, T. Harv Eckert really breaks down in that book is the generational stuff. Like, almost every single person on this call had beat into their brains about money. Money doesn't grow on trees, right? Like, all the right, like, so, like, it's like you don't have to say it's that, but what people want to see, like, how many people are here because you're like attracted to the success, right? I like watching those big old bonuses get announced on the leaderboards. I want one of those someday. It's one of the reasons I'm here. Do you think other people, if they see that, they're going to find that attractive? Oh, hey, what is that? Right? When we're on a national call and they show the monthly, I always make sure, right? We're screenshotting and sharing, like, on the story, like, look at all the bonuses we gave out. Like, my name ain't even on the list. I'm just like, look at all the money the people in this company are making. I'm not even there yet. Right? I mean, I get some bonuses sometimes, but I'm not getting an equity bonus. Right? Like, I'm not rocking, right? I'm not rocking a 20, 30, 40, 50, $200,000 equity bonus a month, but there's a lot of people here that are, right? So why not share that? Because that's what people are looking for, right? Back to, how many people do you know, right, in your life that are unhappy with what they do for a living? Would you say over half feel
Yeah, I
probably
think
like
most of
stuck?
them. Most of
Nearly
them.
everyone I know.
Right?
When people are like, "Oh, work," and I'm like, "It doesn't have to be like that. Stop. Don't bring me with you there."
Right, exactly, right? Like I'm gonna pick on Allie, right? So Allie's new, she lives in Phoenix, and she works in the service industry right now. Like, Allie, how many servers and bartenders do you know that like actually can't stand it, but like just need the money?
Almost all of them. Pretty
Right?
much
Like,
all of them.
right? Like, think about that. So why are you scared to go share this opportunity with them? And I'm not asking you that directly. I'm asking that to everybody, right? Like, what's the fear that's holding you back?
So at least for me, I don't want to violate personal relationships with the next thing that I'm doing, right? I don't, my friends have seen me do a couple of things over 20 years, right?
Right.
I've had like 7 different careers. So I don't want to approach them like, hey, this is the new thing I'm doing and I'm approaching you because I need something from you.
Right. So but is that what you're really doing, or are you showing them a way? So let's reframe how you're thinking about it, right?
Okay.
Or are you sharing a video with them that says, hey, go watch this corporate overview, right? Go watch these 10 minutes worth of videos and just check symmetry out, right? Like, are you asking questions, right? What
Right.
is, right? Like, what's a good question? Because I got some, right? Like, what are good questions we could ask those kind of people?
I like to cover this because I think that's where the fear comes from of not knowing how to have that conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
That's what I'm talking about. So let's put in chat. Let's open up, right? Like,
I know we've talked about this on other calls, but a lot of the good openings, right, is where you're not asking them directly. It's like, do you know somebody who may, right? So you're not necessarily offering them the opportunity, but you ask them if they know anyone who may be looking for some part-time or full-time work to make a couple $1,000s plus whatever it may be.
are you happy with your work-life balance? How about that one? Right? How about just ask them like, hey Bob, like, dude, are you happy with your work-life balance right now? Right? Like that, right? We can ask that all day. To get
And if
them to
you're
do that,
Kevin, you can say, "Oh, you really?"
right?
Like you did with Ruth.
Yeah, but we all just said it, right? Think about the fact that most people aren't. Like, I've done the data math. They've surveyed people. These are people willing to answer. There is 90 million Americans that have admitted they would leave their job tomorrow if they could find the right opportunity. Everybody's on this call because we believe this is the right opportunity, correct? Yes?
Yeah, but
Head nods?
I would love your feedback on what's stopping me, I guess, if you, when we're
Yeah,
done
let's
with.
go.
So
Yeah, let's.
I guess I just feel like I don't know a ton of people that could actually leave their job and potentially not get paid for a couple of months, and then also buy leads in addition to that, right? Like my other job covers me while I'm learning this, so that hopefully one day I can fully convert while I'm learning.
Now I want you to stop and say, like, I want you to think about what you just said. Okay. So you just said, I'm doing this part-time so I can get rid of the other thing, but I'm just assuming everyone else has to automatically leave and they can't do what I'm doing. That's what I heard. Right? Like, why not just give them the opportunity to do what you're doing and do it part-time and work their way into it?
You froze, so I. Okay.
All right, now you're moving. So go back to what you said, right? You said, hey, me, Stacy, I have job. I'm using that I'm doing this part-time until I can, right, fire the boss and have this fully working for me, correct?
Right.
Why are you assuming they can't do that? Why does it have to be they only get to do this if they quit and just go start doing it? Why can't they do what you're doing and work their way into it?
Okay. Yeah.
No, that's a question. That's a question.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's not rhetorical.
No, it's a question. Like, I'm asking you, like, what's stopping them from doing what you're doing? Anything?
Yeah, I guess not. No, nothing.
Right. So, right, like, sure, is it great if you're in the position that, hey, I can drop what I'm doing, right? Go at this full time. I have, right, a bankroll, like, I'm good. The reality is most people at Symmetry don't and or aren't in that position, right? Like how many times, like, I like asking people too, like, do you see yourself working where you're working in 10 years? Right? Like, I mean, I'm gonna pick on my brother here for a second, like Miller, right? Like, they don't really know your background yet, right? Share a little of your background, Miller, and like what you were doing before this and what, right, perceived security versus what was really there, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, I have like 20 plus years in the tech industry. I've done cloud engineering. I worked in like really like I don't know, really complex networks and stuff like that. So I have a very heavy tech, uh, you know, laden experience. But yeah, the whole time you feel secure when you're in the middle of it. But then there kind of comes a time for the last 5 years of my career, I've been always looking around, like looking behind my shoulder, wondering when's the next day is gonna come. And then you can see it now. All the layoffs are hitting. And it's just every year it felt like that. But this is like, even though right now we're struggling in this transition, not struggling in the sense of what we're doing, it's just trying to get it off the ground and putting in the work. I know I wake up and I don't have to look over my shoulder. Everything is like in front of me, not behind me. So it's I don't know if that's all you wanted me to share. I really don't,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, I have a heavy tech background, so
Right. I mean, how many years were you between eBay and PayPal? How many years together were you there?
this I think 22 years maybe.
Right.
I think yeah.
And again, right at the end of the day, they're reporting quarterly at beta, and that's all that company cares about, right? Like that's like think about all the people that feel like Miller do that are looking over their shoulder every day, right? We probably all know people in our life that are looking in that way. What do you think about that, Miss Debbie?
It's all good. Like I just wanted to share that that is such a powerful question, Trevor, because oddly enough, that's the exact same question that my husband asked me. I was gonna live and die at Wendy's. Like I worked my way up 16 years, knew everything, ran 7 stores. Had no thoughts of leaving. And then my husband came up to me one day and said, you know what, where do you see yourself in 5 years with this company? Truly. Is anything going to change? Right. That one question completely changed my trajectory of, I hadn't even found symmetry yet. Like that question was what made me go out and try to find something else. Right. So I just wanted to mention that, Trevor, that even though it didn't come from an agent, but that one question changed my life. And that came from my husband. So
Yeah, and it can, right? Like it can, like that stuff can come, right? Like from them and like, what they're doing, right? Um, like, like, like I'm trying to think of like the right way to frame this. It really just comes down to you believing in this so much that you're willing to share it, right? Um, like if someone came up to you, right now that you knew and said, "Hey, if I could show you a system that's changed my life, would you take a look at a couple videos? Would you at least look at them? I'd look at them. If one of my friends came up to me and said, "Hey, right, if I could plug you into something and I showed you something that's changed my life, would you at least take a look at a couple videos?" I would. I'd look at what's 7 minutes of my life, right? And then what's that going to do? It's going to get them down that rabbit hole.
and you know what? For those that are new that might not know, like Scott Summers' story, Kevin Purdy pretty much asked the same question to Scott and planted the seed. He did not say yes right away. It took him 2 years. 2 years after that initial, hey, this is what I'm doing, yeah, as Kevin was introducing this to his warm market. And Scott said no. And then what he did was he watched Kevin and watched him just kind of succeed. And he's taking all these vacations, he's spending time with his family. And Kelly is like, I want that. Well, why aren't we doing that? Right. And then they made the decision to come over after 2 years of after that first initial introduction. So you never know. You plant the seed. Sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it takes a while.
Yep. So I love this one, right? We'll pick on we're gonna pick on Miss Emily today. Miss Emily. All right. if time and money weren't any issue for you, what would you be doing right now?
I'd be getting like $300 worth of leads like, every single week. And literally, usually I only get like between like $60 and $90 worth, which is better than nothing. But time to I'm not really a time bankrupt, but it's just like really the money thing, you know? And
Right.
I mean, A leads would be nice, but I'm not quite there yet. So
But we're getting there, right?
yeah.
So, but how would it feel to ask someone that question, right? Just ask them, right? Ask those people, right? If time and money weren't an issue, what would you do? I've shared this and I really mean it. Like when we were driving from Jacksonville to Utah, right? We were in New Mexico in Albuquerque getting fuel, and there was there was the lotto stickers on the window of the gas station fuel stop we were at, and it was like $150 million. And I was really like just standing there thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. And I said to Mel, I was like, if we had that much money tomorrow, I still wouldn't quit doing this. Now, let me be clear, there would be sides we had that much money because the scale of this would be going way faster because I had unlimited funds to scale it, right? But that being said, I actually wouldn't leave Symmetry. I wouldn't. Like, I love it and believe in it that much. And I really want to have that kind of impact on people, right? Like, I really want to help everybody on this call and everybody that comes in. I genuinely want to help you guys change your life, right? Like if that like and your DNA core is there, right? Why are we again, right? Why are we not asking those questions to the other people? Right. So to dig back into where Marcus was talking about earlier, like, hey, you've seen me do these other things, right? Absolutely, right? You have. And why have I left those other things? Because it wasn't the right opportunity for me, right? My family's watched me work in corporate America. They've watched me own a business, right? My family like thinks we are bananas crazy. Like, pardon my French, I give zero fucks. Zero. I don't care. Like, I just don't. Like, why do they're not paying my taxes. They're not buying any, right? Unless you want to start writing me a check monthly, then you'd have a little say in my life. I ain't taking it, but like, because I'm not being beholden to anybody, but I just don't care. And the problem is we care too much. We care too much and we think people are going to react and think about us when most of the time they're just flat out not. Okay. So, like, like, and then like people, like use something use something that you want to share that's important to you, right? Like, think about what brought you all here, whether you came warm market, cold market, right? Like, um, would it be worth it? And are you willing to like just say, hey, let me get with my mentor, let me get with my mentor's mentor, let's just jump on a quick call and have a conversation, right? You don't know where people are, you don't know who they're going to be. And do you want to miss out, right? Because you didn't share, right? It's going to happen. Sandra just told the story about it, right? One of the girls and her rodeo crew, right, ended up in Symmetry, right? And like, frankly, if she crushes it here, I know Sandra well enough to know, like, it's going to chaw on her forever. Because know why it would chaw on me? Like, it would bother me, like, immensely, right? Like, because I just didn't choose to share because I'm worried about what they're going to think instead of saying, hey, here's the opportunity to change your life, right? Like, here's an opportunity to do this and why they're there. So, like, another cool thing to ask, right? Like, are you, like, I like asking this, like, are you fired up about what you're doing, right? Like, are you passionate about it, right? Like, generally, right? Are you passionate about what you're doing? How many people do you know in your life that you can really say that about? That if you talk to them about their job, right, they'd say that, or are they like Office Space, the movie, right? Oh, I got a case of the Mondays, right? Oh, thank goodness it's hump day, right? Like, we're almost through, right? They're just dreading their time to get everything done. So, right, like learning those style questions, and making that work better. Like what is the why of like what you're doing? Like, can you name that? Like, can you DNA like why you're doing this? Like, I'm gonna pick on Stacy because she's been pretty transparent today. All right.
Anytime.
All right. So, right, obviously, warm market, right? You're watching, right? You know the crazy trio, you three, and but right, you see Allie doing this, right? You see Christina doing this, and what that conversation go like with you and them? Because I don't actually know this. I kind of want to hear that and walk through it a little bit.
Let's see. I thought Christina was crazy at first, to be honest. Because it sounded, and I'll just continue with transparency. It sounded to me like, oh my gosh, what's the
An MLM.
Yes, that's what it seemed like at first. And I was like, well, and I work part-time for my other job. So I was like, I'm gonna just watch you and see how it goes, and then maybe I'll consider it. But they started just having success, you know, and talking about it, and I was like, okay, well, I can do this. And I really honestly didn't know that much about it. They were just like, come on, join us, whatever, get your license. And I was like, okay, like I kind of love to learn anyway. And so I did it, and it's different than what I expected, but I do really like it, and it's very, very interesting. But yeah, they just kept bringing it up and telling me to come on board. So I did.
So they were sharing their successes, right? So what I heard, right? They're sharing their wins, okay, sharing their successes. You see it, are like, okay. And then those little seeds, right, continue to drop and made a difference, correct?
Right.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
so, and this is probably like really prevalent to you, right? Like, and this is one of like my favorite questions to ask. Do you ever think what your life would look like if you quit that? If you quit trading time for dollars? So, right? What would your life look like if you quit trading time for dollars? Because that's what a W-2 does. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How many people do you know that do that? Like everyone, right?
Yeah. 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 I
Right?
mean, yeah, and flexibility is one of my top priorities. That's what I want. So that's what I go after is careers with flexibility. Right now, I feel like I'm in it learning. Like
Yes.
I'm
You're
here.
you're at the fire hose stage.
Yeah, yeah. It's not flexible right now, but I know that it will be.
Right.
It's still flexible because I can get up and go, go do stuff. But I'm committed to like the time blocking right now and learning as much as I can.
So what about something like this? Like, would it be crazy for me to share with you a couple of videos about something I think you'd be great at?
Yeah,
You
I like that approach. I wrote it down. I also, in the name of full transparency, wrote down, because it's been harder than I thought. Right, it's been a lot of learning
Yep.
and grit and resilience, all of that. And I think like an underlying thought was, I just don't know that many people who I think would like push through. And I had to just write down, like, why would I believe I can do it and others can't?
I love that. Right? Why are you deciding they can't? Now,
Right.
here's the crazy stat. What's the percentage of people that actually push through that suck period? Do you know what it is? Does anybody
Is it-
here know what the
I
percentage
think I know
is?
what it is, but I'll let other people talk because I'm a blabbermouth.
Oh no. Put it in chat if you know what the percentage is of people that'll make it here. It's not that low, Marcus. That it is not even remotely close to 80%. So Eb's out of there. Yeah. It's 8% is the data
8%.
from it's 8% is the data from Symmetry.
Make it how long?
Like
where's that cutoff?
90 days, or that includes not finishing Excel. 50% of the people that sign up for Excel don't even go take the exam and finish the course. 50%.
Wow.
I
Right?
thought you asked how many people don't make it, so I was like 80%
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
So, yeah, you know, it's closer. Yeah, 80% don't. Yeah. So
Okay.
8% do, right? And what are we doing here? We're recruiting, and we're going to give everybody the opportunity because you don't know who's going to make it. You don't know what their work ethic is. You don't know what their drive is. You don't really know what it is. And what, like, for others too, like, what's the culture here been like since you've been at Symmetry compared to everywhere else, right? For some of the newer people that are here, like Jesse, TJ, right? Like Sarah came from there. Like, what's that? Dela, right? Like Dela's on today. Dela, what's I'm gonna make her unmute. What's culture like where you work at doing your normal 40 hours a week versus here? See if she can unmute. Yep, she's there.
Sorry, I'm in the car. But yeah, like any other typical job, I mean, like where I was at Little Leaves, like it was, like out of other jobs I've been at, it was less toxic, but it was still a job. So you have to ask. At the end of the day, you're just an employee, like you're pretty replaceable. And it's just like the same thing, like no matter what, like you can put in all your hard work, but you're still going to get paid like what they determine that you're worth getting paid. And you still have to ask and follow the rules. And it's not like it's not the same as here. Like everybody is supportive, like even if you don't do something like correctly or to the best of your abilities, because you're still learning, then like no one's gonna like get you in trouble for it. They're just gonna guide you to do it correctly the next time and keep working on it.
Right. So, right, you can say like, hey, maybe I haven't done it yet. Can you talk about other people here you've seen be successful? Right. And say like, hey, like I just watched Stacy hit season new agent. I just watched her write 6 apps. Right. I've watched Emily write $8,000 this month in business already. Right. Like, can you take that opportunity and say, hey, I might not be there yet, but I've watched other people do it, right? Like we're on the national leaderboards. I saw, there's these agents in our agency. This is what they're doing, right? Like use that social proof essentially to say, hey, yeah, I want to give you this opportunity because I'm getting there too. But like sharing that as it goes across, right? Like everybody wants, okay, I'll let Steph go. What's up, Steph?
Hi, Trevor, everyone. It's like what I see here, and my other job was more robotic. And here I feel as though you have room for growth and expand. You don't have anybody with their thumb on your neck. Okay. It's like they put you in a corner. Here you do one specific thing, but here we're taught so many things. Everybody's willing to share. Everybody wants to see you grow. But on a regular job, it's like you have to watch your back.
For sure, right? I was there, right? Like it's why I punted corporate America and did my own thing. I was on the C-suite track, right? I was getting groomed to be a CEO. Like I was getting mentored, I was getting led up that track. I'd worked my way up to a VP level, right? Like I was doing it younger than everybody else. And right, like that was literally the track I was on and I hated it, right? So like think about like think of it this way, like how much longer can you afford to build to wait before building something that gives you freedom, right? Like how much longer can you afford to wait, right, before building something that truly gives you freedom? Because this gives us time and money, and you need both in today's day and age to have freedom, right?
True.
You got to have both, right? Need the fun coupons to, right, like be able to go do that type of stuff. But right, like ask that question to people, right? Like, what's somebody really going to say that? What would you say if someone asked you that question before you'd started here? Right? Ask yourself that. What would I say if someone would have said, how much longer can you afford to wait before building something that gives you freedom? What would you have said to yourself? Just ask yourself that. Right? And then what's the deal? Don't quit. Right? Like don't quit on on, when it's hard, when there's slow days, when people are jerks, when they're mean on the phone, right? You don't know what they're going on, right? Like, you don't know if something just happened to them or where they are or why they're so miserable, right? Um, but like working through that, so right, dreaded it, right? Dreaded. How many people here have had a job that they dreaded going to in their life? I've had more than one, right? Like, you're just like, ugh, right? Like, I would literally rather do anything on earth than go do this right now, right? Like it's dreadful, right? Like, that sucks to feel that way when this is what we're going to do, right? A majority of it. So go tell everybody about this, because this is a spot you don't have to do it, and you can give them that opportunity to change. Like, I think that's like really, really important. And while I try to keep the sales driven, I think that is also the sales process, right? I think that sales process is there. So I want to kind of take the last 10 minutes here and kind of open it up and, give anybody opportunity to ask questions, like stuff, maybe like, what could I do here? How could I say that? Those kind of things. All right.
I have a
Trevor,
question.
sorry.
You go first because I've already been
No,
talking.
I just wanted to say, I've been here 4.5 years, and just full transparency, there's not a month that doesn't go by that I don't think, why am I doing this? But then I get, a really good month and, or really good few weeks. And right now my building has been going crazy, and I love seeing all you new agents on here and just seeing what it's doing for your lives. And that's why I'm here, is to, help others. And then also with the advanced markets things that I'm doing, that really excites me. It excites me. And, but don't be discouraged if you feel like every day or every other day, like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Oh my gosh, why am I putting up with this? Because I'll tell you why. You can see that the reward is going to be sweet. It's going to be amazing. You can see the people have done it. And if they can do it, why can't you? Why can't I? And that's why I'm here, is for that reason. I know I can do it, and so just, it's okay to feel discouraged every once in a while. That's all I wanted to say.
Another answer to your question earlier about what's holding you back could be mindset. But also to this question, I'm interested in reaching out to a friend of mine's son who's now in the mortgage business. He got out of college and he worked for Amazon for a couple of years and got out of that. And I was going to throw him the idea to him about showing this to him. And I just wanted to not screw it up by throwing it that way. That's why I was wondering what kind of verbiage I should use maybe. And just showing him the opportunity, I guess. Say, would you be interested in seeing some videos? Is that a good idea?
Yeah. Just share. What's the worst thing you're gonna say? No, and they still don't do it? Okay, who cares? They said no. All right, right? Like, you ain't no, but what if they say yes? What if they're the next Dylan Crane? What if they're the next Jamie Susie? What if they're the next Ed Pritchett? And you just gotta ask them a question and get them to watch a couple of videos, right? Like, right? Like, do you like just really like that's really motivating? Like, the thought of somebody I know not being on my team because I didn't share it. Now, if they choose to go another way, I could live with it. But if it's because I didn't share it and they didn't know what I was doing and I wasn't being like everywhere and showing everything, oh my gosh, like it's like that motivates me so much, right? Like on that side
Yeah,
of it.
right.
Yeah. What do you got, Stephanie?
My question to you is, I had two people under me, but unfortunately, just recently, the last one left for whatever reason. But my question to you is, when it comes to reviewing people, interviewing people, what method? I mean, how do you, other than the enthusiasm I have for this job, And in a way, I don't consider it a job. It's like I'm helping.
Yep.
I'm here to help people.
Yep.
So that's my gift. I want to help family and friends to be to also create generational wealth. But what else can I say to these people? Because the last 10 people I spoke to, they, oh well, I don't have the time and this, that, and that. They make up every excuse under the sun. And I say to them, well, look, I do 2 jobs and I enjoy what I do. And I'm also making good money at it. So
Yep.
you're still punching a clock. I don't have to.
Yep. Yeah, we have those. So let's talk about that. So I'm gonna call my team to answer that question. What
Okay.
am I like, and what questions do I ask when I'm talking to people?
Hey, don't talk too fast because I'm gonna be taking notes.
One of them is, are you willing to commit to following the blueprint that our top agents and agencies have used to become wildly successful?
Excellent.
And another one is, do you
Okay.
see yourself leading a team and becoming a leader people are willing to follow?
Yep.
Ooh, that's excellent.
And are you ready to be held accountable by me challenging you to hit your goals with my support?
Yep. Are you coachable? Yes, Miss Kayla, right? Like, I also ask, how do you like to be mentored and coached? Right? Like, yes, it does sound familiar because it works. And so, but it's that, like, those are the things I want to know, right? Like, so then later on we can have a conversation of, I genuinely don't care what people's goals are, whether they want to come here and just make an extra $500 a month or $1,000 a month, or they want to radically change their life. But I got to know those things in order to help them. And so, and it's just volume, right? Like, just interview more people, talk to more people than everybody else, and then you'll start ending up having more people on your team. Like, it's just like sales, right? The more contacts you make, the
Right.
further you're going to get there.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you got, Stacy?
Oh, that took a long time. I was asking if it was the 3 videos on the Why Not Work From Home page. Katie said it is. Then I noticed only 2 of them are shareable.
I just ping Mel and Telegram, and like, we have like a quick, easy access for the links to the videos.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Was that your question from earlier?
That was it. Yep.
Oh, just taking it easy on me today.
And
I like it.
And so on the note on the videos, just wanted to say that I was really glad that Debbie reshared Scott's story, because that's one thing I was going to say is that what I have found a lot with my warm market is that when I send them the videos, like, okay, well, hey, what you doing? Or I am interested, and they want more information, and I send them the videos. And then with the same questions that you've told me to ask, are you interested in leadership? Both those questions. And then I don't hear anything back. I send them the videos and then I don't hear anything back. It's crickets after that. So I was glad Debbie shared that, because that tells me, well, okay, maybe they're just still watching. They're going to watch and they'll come around later.
Yep.
But yeah, I do see that a lot though with the warm market.
Yeah, and you're going to
Maybe
get
it's the
that.
coffee analogy.
Yeah. that's
Camera's
true.
not right.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, like,
Hey, Stephanie, and I've not done a great job at this, but one thing, as you were kind of just talking about, like how when you're talking to folks, I think just we have to be careful. Like, I don't think we need to sell the opportunity, or like, I can do this and you're not doing that, because we obviously don't want to like talk down on people, either. And I know you were probably just talking quickly on here, it almost sounded like, kind of, as you're talking to people, that you're like, hey, why aren't you doing this? I can do the A, B, and C, right? But it's more about, hey, I'm happy. I think you may be good at this. Let me send you a couple of videos for you to check out, and just leave it as
Right.
that.
right.
And then I think you can you know, the Trevor questions, I think, you know, about leadership and all that. But I even think in the beginning, she's like, hey, I think maybe, you know, as Trevor said in the beginning, you know, I'm happy, you know, I found this opportunity. I think it could be something, you know, you would be great at, and just share the videos.
Thank you.
All right. All right, everybody. Was this helpful today? Yes. I know it
Excellent.
wasn't
Very
like
good.
sales, but it is sales. Like I think it's sales.
There's a
Right.
whole theme of building lately, so I love it because that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I want my time back. Like listen, we got to produce. Like I want to help families. I'm always going to protect families. We got to do both, right? And you'll see, right? Where I kind of want to have this be a little bit more of both, so we can help both sides of the business, right? Help our, you know, because we need to do both things here. So, but yeah, let's go have a great week. Memorial Day weekend. What's up, Bender?
I just want to plug, so folks don't forget, in an hour, the
Yep.
DFL kickoff.
Yep. I was literally about to tell him, be there or be square. So, yep, jump on. Links will be in Telegram, but I got it blocked on my calendar, and we will see you there.
Y'all dial on Memorial Day? That's my last question, I promise.
Some people
Oh, yeah.
do. It's up to you. Some people have been
Absolutely.
Well,
They are
extremely
hoping to have a
successful.
long weekend. They're relaxed.
Okay.
They're
Like,
home.
it's the best time. They're home.
Awesome.
Yes,
Okay.
I crushed last Memorial Day. Like my year ago Memorial Day, like I had a monster day because everybody was at home. It just depends on where you're at and what you are, but right, everybody's at home, right? It's a really good contact day if you want to work. Like it's a great day to get. I get it's a holiday. If you want to go chill, enjoy the weekend, go chill, right? That's the whole thing. You can do both. But think about everybody's also off of work, right? And
Yeah.
it's not like Christmas, it's not Thanksgiving, right? Like it's not one of those holidays where if you call them, they're like, why are you calling me today? Right. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
call everybody on Christmas anyways, but right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not one of those holidays, right? This is, you know,
And it
it's
doesn't mean
there.
you have to work 10 hours, right? You can, like, you know,
Yep.
block out some time and still go to the barbecue or whatever you may be doing.
Yep. All right.
Is
I'll
there-
be traveling back from Jacksonville, and then once I get back home, then I'll log in and start making some dollars.
Yeah. Is there LMT on Monday? Memorial Day?
Ooh, that's a good question. No,
I don't
No.
think so.
nope.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I thought I'd better check.
And you guys have, speaking of which, you guys have probably seen all the notes, but the carrier is going to be closed. So, you know, if you
Oh,
need
yeah.
call carriers, you know,
Yeah. If you
really
need
probably
carrier help, get it done
after like
today.
12 o'clock tomorrow,
Yeah.
until Tuesday, you're kind of,
Okay.
you know, obviously their e-apps will work, but you're not going to be able to talk to anybody.
Yeah. If you need a carrier help. All right. Sweet.
See ya.
Ooh, nice. Just got an LGA. You got a deposit coming email. Those are the best.
Sweet.
I love those emails. All right.
All right.